So with that, I'm going to pass to Babis so he can share his perspective on how the AI and wireless is interconnected. You should be able to share the screen.
Thank you, Arthur. I'm trying to share my slides. Okay, so let me. Good morning, everyone. As you may know, NTT Docomo is the largest service provider in Japan. We have a lab in the Bay Area, in Palo Alto, where I reside. And our team is looking at doing R&D in wireless and the use of AI in wireless. Now, as most of us would agree, wireless has arrived really late at the AI party. And that's because we've relied on model-based designs over the several past decades that worked very, very well. However, we all recognize that as the networks are becoming increasingly complex, AI will start playing a more prominent role in our networks. At Docomo, we see expert domain knowledge as being very important, both for the design of these systems, but also for realistic performance assessment. So this is where we see the wireless people coming to pitch in. Again, there are many well-publicized areas where AI has been looked into in the context of wireless. I want to point out there are some less advertised areas that are equally important to network operators like Docomo. And in fact, in the next slide, I will show you how big data has helped us in improving our network in one of these areas. The vision we have in Docomo, this is our one-liner, is that we feel that AI will be the fabric of future wireless networks. So that's there's no doubt in our company. So, okay, so let's go to the present. So for the first time, we use data from our network for cell planning. So the planning tool we developed, we used also expert domain knowledge, of course, but it turns out it's much better and much faster than the legacy system. Just to give you an idea, evaluation in Tokyo. Tokyo is the biggest city in the world, probably one of the most complex wireless networks. And our tool was able to reduce failed handovers by 2 orders of magnitude. We were also able to improve random access resource utilization. And in fact, we increased the reuse distances of these parameters by several kilometers in our new tool. Now going forward, we see a lot of challenges, and I'll focus one important challenge that faces all operators, and that is achieving coverage at millimeter wave and beyond. So millimeter wave cells, as people now well know, have limited range, mainly line of sight coverage. And in fact, the coverage is intermittent due to human and other blockades. So, of course, you can blanket the area with base stations to achieve coverage, but this is clearly a very expensive solution. So instead, in Docomo, we've been looking at with a company startup called MetaWave. We looked at other methods and actually shown that there are other cheaper ways to increase coverage both indoor and outdoor. I'm showing passive reflect arrays and active repeaters here. But we're more excited about the advent of smart surfaces. The reason being that it gives network operators the opportunity to fully control the propagation environment. In that way, you can, of course, enable this with AI to control, to improve performance and also enable new services. So we're very excited about this. And in a nutshell, we see this a marriage made in heaven. We see AI to be critical in planning future networks, where to put devices, what devices to deploy, how to optimize them, and so forth. Also, we see AI as being a critical player in enabling services, by gathering data, diverse data from our networks, enabling location-based services, sense-star awareness, and proactive resource allocation. And my last note is, I want to point out that all this is made possible by the Open RAN architecture, in our opinion, because it allows us to now tap into every single point in the communication chains and alter what's going on. And our view is that what is needed is diverse public data sets at every point in the communication setting to expedite the use of AI and also make it pervasive throughout the network. So I guess I'll stop here, Arthur.
Yes, thank you, Babis. And with that, again, I want to remind people, please submit questions if you see something interesting so that we can answer them later. And with this, I will hand over to Malik.